Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, it's John Howell here. Happy weekend for you guys. One thing I want to talk in this video here, something that I see. One of the biggest mistakes that I made for so many years with my trading career, and it stopped me from actually moving forward. And one of the there's a lot of things, there's a lot of mistakes that I actually made. But one thing I want to talk about in my video is my trades this year. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my trades this year on the stock market, and I think it's going to change the way you look at your trading as well too. Well, that's what my hope is in this video, by sharing the trades that I've taken this year. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I made for so many years was that I was trying to be in everything, right? If something moved, I had to be in on it. I had to know what happened, what was going to happen tomorrow, and I had to guess the right trade, and I had to be in the right trade, and and I had to know what was going to happen tomorrow, and all that sort of stuff. And I was always based on the way that I was trading was based on I think right now is a good time to get in, or I hope right now is a good time to get in, or I'm fearful of missing out. And one of the biggest things that started to change the way that I started to get ahead in the markets was I started keeping a spreadsheet of trades that met a set of rules that met my trading plan, set these rules, and the rest that didn't. And one thing I come to realize was that 80% of my trades that I was taking were still, at that time, barge ass trades, meaning I shouldn't be taking them all because I had no plan behind it. See, trading the stock market or trading any market is not about luck. It's not about knowing the secret sauce or anything like that. Trading is all about, it's all about probability, right? But probability doesn't come from one trade, does it? No. Probability comes from, say, 10 trades. You take 10 trades in a row that has the same setup, you're going to see the probability in that trade. But yet most traders who trade the markets, there is no probability, right? Because they're like, well, I'm taking this trade because it's here. And the next trade is completely on something different. And the next trade is completely on something different. And the next trade is completely on something different. Well, the Fed's going to do this, so I'm going to trade this. Well, the technicals say this, so I'm going to trade this. Well, there's a big head and shoulder, so I'm going to trade this. Well, it's at really good support, I'm going to trade this. Make sense? And that was my biggest downfall for so long, was that I didn't realize that trading the markets was based on a probability of an outcome. Okay, it was no certainties, but it's based on a probability of an outcome. And that's where a lot of traders, and you may be in the same situation right now, right? You may be in the same situation where you're trying to guess what's going to happen tomorrow. You need to know what's going to happen tomorrow in order for you to make money. And that's simply not true. Okay, the most successful traders on the planet, they all have one thing in common, and that is that they have their own plan that they believe in, and they do whatever they can. They're not perfect, but they do whatever they can to stick to that plan, which simply means just wait for those trades. All right. So one thing that, and I've learned that from even 7-figure traders. Okay, if you want to become a 7-figure trader, it's not going to take that much. What is a 7-figure trader? A 7-figure trader just simply means a guy who's, what I mean by a 7-figure trader, right? He makes more than $1 million a year. For my coaches who I've been coached by, who are multiple 7-figure traders and 7-figure traders, they all have one thing in common. And that is that they have the ability to put more money on per trade. So they don't need too many good trades throughout the month, throughout the year, for them to become a 7-figure trader. Make sense? And you say, well, John, it's all right for them if they're putting on, 40, 50 grand per trade or 100 grand per trade. Yeah, of course they can make $1 million a year with that. But no, that's not the case, right? Because you starting where you are right now with a $5,000 or $10,000 trading account, in 2 or 3 years' time with the right habits, you too can also be that trader as well too. See, you can take a good trader. Now let's define a good trader. A good trader is someone that they know exactly what they're looking for on the chart, their chart setup that meets a certain rules, and they're only gonna take that. That's a good trader. You can take a good trader who is disciplined at taking their setup and turn a 10 grand trading account into making $1 million a year in 5 years time frame. 3 to 5 years. But how is that possible? Because it comes down to confidence, right? It comes down to you having your good risk management and all that sort of stuff. And the reason why I'm talking about this in this video here is because I was looking at my results and I'm like, I'm having a really, really, really good year this year, but I've taken hardly any trades. Now, before I jump in there, I'll finish that quote I was going to say. You could take a really good trader and take a small trading account and turn it into a big trading account. You could take a bad trader, and I don't care if you're trading 100 grand per trade, you're going to lose that money, right? So let me just move this over here for a minute. I'm going to move this over here, and we're going to look at, say, the last 6 months. And what you're looking over here, right, is basically all the trades that I've taken this year. And now, how many trades have I taken this year so far on the stock market? That is, right. I've taken some more on the futures and forex market. But when it comes to the stock market, which all I do is trade 1 hour per day, I've only taken 9 trades this year. That's all I've taken so far. It's 9 trades. There hasn't been a lot of trades for me this year. Now, people think, well, John, that's not a lot of trades. But hear me out. Let me go through the results with you, okay? This is actually what you're looking at right now was one of my recent trades that I got out just recently. Okay. I got into, for me, I get in on a breakout bar. All right. I'm going to just keep it as simple as that. So you can identify the breakout bar. And obviously I have a whole setup before the breakout bar, but there's the breakout bar. I get in on the breakout bar and then it ran down and I got out just recently. Really nice profit. That was my last trade that I closed just recently. Right. Really nice profit. So let me walk you through these results here, okay? So here was one trade here. They're not in order of what I took first, second, third, because my software is not allowing me to do that. Or I don't actually have those in order, but I'm just going to walk you through the trades anyway. So here was one trade here. So it's CTSH, right? Breakout bar. This one gapped down to close to about 200% return. Now I trade options. And the way that I trade is I get in 5 minutes before the close. And I generally hold 1 to 5 days or maybe even a couple of weeks. So this one here got in on the close and this gapped down close to 200% return. This one here was an enormous, right? Look at the breakout bar, gap down. This one did about 600% return in 1 day. So now, not all of them gap like that, but I've had that this year, right? You can see this was back in February. CTSH was, when was that? That was back in May, right? Let's go through this one here. RLGY, breakout bar, this one breakout bar. I held it for a few days and I got out. All right, this one was back in May as well too. CY, this one here was a recent trade as well too, right? Got in here, gapped up. Again, multiple, it was a multiple triple digit gain. I think it was about 250, 300% return on this big gap up here, right? Got on the breakout bar, did nothing for 2 days and then gapped up. Beautiful trade there, right? MYL, I got in this one here. It actually did nothing. See, I got in here, right? So I got in right here on this breakout bar. Right here. That's where my system says to get in on. Now, don't go out and just place a trade based on that, guys, because I have a whole setup of what I'm looking for before the breakout bar. But look at this here, right? The market just did what? 1 day, 1, 2, 3 days, did nothing. But eventually what happened? It ran on for a nice profit, didn't it? I got out a really nice profit. See, I don't care. You don't have to know what happens tomorrow. All I care about is I'm getting in today and I know within, say, a week of me getting in this trade, this is likely to generate some profit. All right. Could be a small profit, could be a big profit. All right. So this one here, nice profit as well too. This one here was actually corn. It was a corn trade. I got in on this breakout bar here, right? So we had a nice, I won't get into that there, but we had a nice breakout bar. Now this one here was a loss for me, right? Now, why was it a loss? Because it went sideways for about a week. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm done with this here. And actually, it was a loss because of my impatience. if I just was more patient and just allowed the market to do what it needs to do, right? I got out here. It was a very small loss. I think it was about, I forget the actual loss, but it was a very, very small loss, right? And what ended up happening, it eventually ran down and actually made a profit. So if I was just patient in this trade, I actually would have generated a profit on this one as well too, right? So this was a loss for me, but if I was patient, it would have been a profit. Okay. Not SBS. That wasn't one. Right. I got into this one here as well too, just recently. Got in on the breakout bar. Next day did nothing. Gap down. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Nice profit. And then EVH, that was that one there. There was a few. What was there? None here. No. No. No, none of those. Okay, so actually, you know what? No, it was only 8 trades for the year, because that one wasn't SBS. No, that was actually last year, so not this year, right? So anyway, so as we can see, right? So I had this one here, so it's only been 8 trades. This one here, beautiful setup. Now, when you're looking at this one here, right? What are you looking at? A 200% return. If you had $20,000 on that trade, that's a $40,000 profit. AFH, again, breakout bar. This one did about 600% return in one day. Again, if you're looking at, say, $20,000 a trade or $40,000 a trade, you know, you see what I'm saying there? RLGY. Now, guys, I'm not saying this here to, you know, whatever, but I'm just showing you, right? I've had 8 trades in total on the stock market, and I've had 1 loss. That 1 loss shouldn't have been a loss because I was impatient, but that was my mistake. But I've only taken 8 trades. I've had 1 small loss and all these profits. So the purpose of me doing this video, guys, is not to say, look at me, whatever, who cares, right? What I'm trying to share with you is that most of the time you're going backwards if you're actively trading a lot. If you're trading a lot in the market, right? And so when you're actively trading a lot in the markets, the thing is that you're likely to be going backwards with that. And I'm trying to share with you here that, like with my trading, I don't trade a lot, and a lot of people think that you need to trade a lot to make a lot of money. Well, I need to be having a lot of trades to make a lot of money. And that's the wrong foundation you want to be building yourself on. Because you know yourself, right? If you've been trading for quite some time, if you actively trade, you're probably over trading, and you're probably likely to be losing money and not getting ahead. You might be shorting the market when you think it's a good time to short it. Like when I do my stock market updates, right? I'm just looking at the markets. Okay, this is what the market's telling me. But it doesn't mean I'm going to trade just the analysis on the stock market. No, that's gambling. And I hope you can see right now, right, that again, from 8 trades, 1 loss, that's my entire year. But I guarantee you, most people are blowing themselves out of the water because of this market right now and losing lots and lots of money, where I've only taken all these trades and I'm having a phenomenal year trading because I'm not taking a lot of trades. And I hope you can see too that your foundation to you moving forward long-term in a big way, how can you develop that confidence to start putting on more money per trade? Now, not an ego thing like, I'm going to do this here, I'm going to do this here, I'm all in. Yes, I'm all in on this one, you know, and because I know this is going to happen. Like, for example, like I'm short right now because I know the stock market's definitely going to crash. Or I'm all on the VIX right now because I know the market's going to crash and the VIX is going to spike and I'm going to make a fortune. I've been there. I've lost multiple 6 figures in one trade because of thinking that way. I've been there, I've done that. And so for me personally, my most successful year has been this year, but it's come off the back of actually not really trading a lot. See, I would say probably by the end of the year, I probably have a couple of dozen trades underneath my belt in total trading the stock market. But when you're using options and you can build the confidence like I'm talking about here, you don't need too many good trades throughout the entire year for you to do really well. So this is, for me, it's Sunday anyway, and I wanted to do this video for you, and I wanted to share this stuff with you because I wanted to give you a bit of guidance in where your thinking may be going wrong right now, where you may be not on the right foot there. And if you are trying to get ahead in the markets and you want to be part of the markets, then you need to play the game. You need to know the rules to successfully trading these markets. Successfully trading these markets does not come from you knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. Do you think Warren Buffett cares about what happens day by day by day? No. And I'm using Warren Buffett as an example, but I watched a video from him recently, and he said he will watch 1,000 pitches. He used like baseball game as an example, but he'll watch 1,000 pitches go past, i.e. trades or setups or investment opportunities, and he'll just wait for that sweet spot and then he'll get in. You could see my win-loss ratio. In fact, I should have had a 100% win-loss rate. I should have had a 100% success rate this year if I was just more patient with my corn trade, which you're looking at right now. Right? But it's but yeah, I'm happy to say that I wasn't patient with that corn trade. Again, looking at that corn trade, look at this here. Breakout bar, did nothing for a few weeks. I got impatient, got out of it for a loss, and then it eventually ran on for some sort of a profit. Most of the trades do that I get into. So I want you to really, really think about, guys, where you are going with your trading and why are you doing what you're doing? Because there came a point with my trading, I thought, you know what, why am I doing what I'm doing right now? Like, do I really want to get ahead in the markets, or am I just fart-assing around and just playing the game and pointing the finger at everyone? Because if I really want to get ahead in the markets, I must start to adapt the mentality, the approach to trading that the successful do. And what I wasn't doing is I wasn't disciplined. And if you are not getting ahead in the markets these days, then I guarantee you're over trading. Now, if you're just starting out maybe been involved with the markets for a few years, 2 or 3 years, and you're finding it hard, then, welcome to the club. My first couple of years, I was $250,000 in debt. But guess what? That wasn't going to stop me. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep going. 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 And I'm not going to stop. I don't care what happens to me. I'm not going to stop until I figure this thing out and I get this. Now, I could have taken it took me 15 years. Well, it didn't take me 15 years to become profitable, but it took me 15 years to get to where I am today. I could have taken a lot, maybe 3 or 4 years to get to that point, maybe 5 years, maybe 12 months if I just really listened, right? The number one biggest mistake that I did, right, was that I wasn't disciplined at taking one plan. That's all you need to do. And then as you go through 6 months, because guess what I'm doing right now? With my success rate, guess what's happening? My confidence is growing. Not only confidence in my trading system, right? Because each trade gives me more and more confidence. But I'm making more money. And with that, I actually trade more money, right? So say for example, I'll give you an example here, and this is the way that I do my risk management. Let's say for example, I'm risking call it 10% on my account, all right? 10% on my account. Let's just say I have a $200,000 trading account, or let's just keep it simple. Let's say I have a $100,000 trading account and I'm happy trading 10 grand per trade, okay? Well, if I make a 100% return on a trade, right? I just made 10 grand, right? 10K. What I do then is that now my account is at 110K, right? Now I'm happy trading what? 11,000 per trade. See how that works? But if I have a loss and so on and so forth, if I have a loss, then I decrease my trades with it as well too. The purpose of me saying what I said just right there, guys, is that as your confidence grows in not only the system, not only in the markets, but the confidence in yourself to be consistent, disciplined, and patient, then your ability and your confidence to start putting on more money per trade. So you might go from a 2% risk per trade, and then over 6 months period, you're doing really well. Now you're starting to put on 5% risk on your account per trade. And now you might be doing a lot more, right? Because you know that the system and so on and so forth. Makes sense? And this is how you start to get rapid growth. That my mentor, his first few trading accounts, maybe 5 or 10 grand, 2 or 3 trading accounts, he blew it up. And then he came back with a vengeance and took a 5 or 10 grand trading account and turned that to like 3 million in 5 years. Oh wow, John, that's incredible. Well, the differences was that he just started to learn that the foundations rules, like the foundational rules were, how do I truly get ahead in the markets? What do I need to do? And he started following a plan, and eventually he got to a point where he was happy trading 20% of his trading account on any given one trade. But he didn't trade a lot, but it's trading 20%. Now, when you start to increase your account to 100 grand, 200 grand, and before you know it, you're trading 20, 30 grand per 20, 40 grand per trade. It doesn't take you too long, right, to start doing $500,000 to $1 million profit per year. Make sense? Because like one trade at a 50% profit at a $40,000 trade is a $20,000 profit. Just one or two of those per month on average, right? And you start to look at half a $1,000,000 profit per trade. And all you did is, only take a couple of dozen trades per year. Yeah, I just wanted to. This is just more of a talking video, guys. As you can see, it's not a technical video, but I find a lot of people really get stuck on this subject here, and I'm just sharing with you. So many nights for me, I would struggle so much. And I remember one night when I lost everything. I lost my house, I lost my car, I had to go back and sleep with my mother-in-law. And I remember borrowing some money from my father-in-law at the time, and and I borrowed $5,000 from him, and then I put in the markets, and I stayed up all night trading the E-mini S&P 500. And I was doing the same shit again. I was over trading, and within one night, I blew up 50% of my trading account. I remember as the sun went up, I went to bed, and my wife got up for work, and my wife at the time got up and went to bed. And I just sat there crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. Because I really wanted to get this, but I just didn't know what I was doing wrong. I'm like, there's something missing here. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I might get lucky and might make a few profitable trades, and then guess what? I'd lose all that and a lot more, and then I'd make it. And I was spending all this time trying to get the answer, trying to figure it all out. And what it came down to was, it came down to, like, I went through so many lessons, and I realized over time that it was me that was stopping me. It wasn't the market. It wasn't that it was rigged and all that sort of stuff, because that's just a garbage whole bunch of bullshit excuses that you can point the finger at someone else. I realized that the more disciplined I was to just taking that setup, as long as you have to take it, as long as you have to wait, the more disciplined I was, the more I was going to make some money. And that's the only differences between you, if you're not doing well, and the people who do really well at a trading, is they've worked so hard on saying, today I'm going to be disciplined. And it's a daily process, right? Like every day I get up now. Now it's a habit for me now because I've done it for so long. But I had to get to a point where I woke up and said, I'm only going to take a trade today if it meets these certain rules. And I'll come back tomorrow. I'm only going to take a trade today if it meets these certain rules. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm only going to take a trade today if it meets these certain rules. Now, these certain rules is what you take every single time. You don't take one trade based on one rule and so on and so forth, right? And I had to start to say that to myself because my coach was saying that you are all over the place, so no wonder your results are all over the place. And I had to really start to connect the dots on why I wasn't doing well, and it came down to that. And I found that the more that I said, today I'm not doing anything. I didn't care what's going on right now. I'm not doing anything until I see my setup, until I see my what I call A quality setup, and I get it. And sometimes I had to wait a week. Sometimes I had to wait 3 or 4 weeks for a trade, but I didn't care. And the more that I found that I did that, the more that my stress went down, the more I was relaxed, the more I was more calm. And when I did see my perfect setup, I was confident to get into it, and I was very relaxed. I had a sleep at night factor, and everything became more easier. Like everything just flowed. And what ended up happening was over time, I'd look at my results. Like I look at my results now, I'm like, I've hardly traded, but I've had a phenomenal year trading. Where before I'd be trading a lot like a madman and I would be going backwards. And that's when I really started connecting. I was like, I see. My very first 7-figure mentor said that he'll wait as long as he has to until he gets a trade. My next 7-figure mentor, or multiple 7-figure mentor, he said, my job is just to trade the markets. My job is to sit here and just wait and wait and wait and wait as long as I have to until I see this setup. And so that's the foundational rules to your success there in the market. So anyway, guys, that was, as you can see, right, this is just a different type of video for you guys, but I really wanted to do a video away from the techniques and stuff like that, because I could teach you that sort of stuff, but it's really not going to help you. Because if you are serious about being part of this world called trading, and you're serious about getting ahead in the markets, then you must start to develop that mentality of the things that I'm talking about now. And the fact of the matter is this: 90% of you, even though you watch these videos, even though you're watching this video right now, I'm telling you the foundational rules for you to get ahead. I guarantee you, you're going to be a pig ass, stubborn ego bastard like me. I said, oh, whatever, John. Like I was, right? It took me so long to figure it out. And you're either going to lose money or you're not going to get ahead. And I'm not saying that I'm saying that to smack you in the face. So listen, wake up. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you trading the markets in the first place? Is it just so you can make some extra money? It's like, you've got to have a bigger reasons why. For me, it was like, because I wanted to give my kids a system that I can help them as well too. Because I wanted to give my kids, the life that they want, or the life that they deserve. I want to be able to, I want to be able to make my parents proud because I didn't do well at school, and, and all these things, right? And I didn't want to be a slave to the system, and I wanted to be confident about having my own financial control, and so on and so forth, right? These were my reasons, right? It had nothing to do with buying fancy houses and Lamborghinis, because it just, that doesn't matter, right? That all that stuff doesn't matter to me. I actually live a very minimal life, right? I don't spend a lot of money on stuff. But I like to be able to do well out of my trading, so I can go have experiences and do well, for me and my kids as well too, right? Have really good experiences, because experiences trump stuff any day. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So why are you doing what you're doing? And really think about that, because that's what, like, I had to realize I'm doing something wrong here. Like, it's me that's causing me to go backwards. Like, what's going on here? Why am I just not getting this? And it was so mentally challenging, because I had to really change the way that I think. Because as you can see, right, you see my success rate is enormous. Not a lot of trades, but it's enormous. But that's the reason why it's very successful, is because I don't have a lot of trades, right? Now, as you can see, right, I trade with one moving average and volume. And look at my success rate. You don't need a lot of the thought of, I need these indicators, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, so on and so forth, right? So I'm talking about my stock market trading here. Now, if I was trading the intraday charts, 2-minute charts, 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, looking at the Forex and futures markets, which I did at the start of the year, but I don't now, I would probably have maybe double to quadruple the amount of trades that I've done on the stock market in total this year. I was doing that for a few months, but I stopped doing that only because I was getting very, very tired, and I wasn't focusing, and it just wasn't good for me long term. So that's only because I'm just trading the daily chart, right? But if I was trading the 15-minute charts in the stock market using the same system, then that's what it's all about there. So anyway, guys, if you are interested in learning my system that I trade, I am running a free training. Click on the very first link in the description, and then you can go get access to that. And it goes for about, a couple of hours long, maybe 90 minutes long, or 2 hours long. And then from that, I'll be able to share that with you. That's the technical basis there. But guys, talking to the guys here, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, seriously, why are you doing it? And are you serious about doing this? Like, you really want to do this? okay, well, let's start to make this thing happen. Like, you can you can move forward faster by slowing down. You can move forward faster by slowing down. And whenever you are thinking about getting ahead in the markets, whenever you think about doing really well, you got to ask yourself, one, do I have that foundation, or do I even know what I'm looking for on the market? Or am I just saying, you know what, I hope this is a good trade? It's like, no, that's gambling. There's nothing there. Okay, you've got to have a good setup, whether it's my coaching or someone else's coaching. You've got to be following one plan. Otherwise, you are not going to get ahead. You may get lucky every now and then and get it right. Like, I don't care about being right or wrong in the market. I just care about doing my job and trading my system. Right or wrong in the market, you need to throw that vocabulary out. It's like, no. I did my job by trading the setup, and here was the setup, and I did well because I stuck to my plan. That's not that I got it right. It's because I did my job. And then secondly, which is 90% of your success. Because I guarantee you right now, if you are listening right now and you are losing money in your trading, it only comes down to one simple thing. You are not following one simple plan every single time. That's it. If you can have that one sentence, follow one simple plan every single time, you can start to do really, really well in the markets. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Again, it's Sunday for me, but I really wanted to do this more of a longer, more in-depth video for you. Again, it's more of a talking video here, but I wanted to just do this for you, and just hopefully this is going to start to change some thinking in there. You know, and for me, guys, if you keep doing the same shit over and over again, I understand, because I'm a stubborn son of a bitch myself. Where, like, it took me years of losing a lot of money to start to, like, talking a long time, to start to realize, listen, if I wanted to do well out of these markets, I've got to stop doing this shit over and over and over again. And the switch for me was me realizing that if I want to do well out of this, I have to change what I'm doing. I have to be consistent at taking one setup. What am I looking for? And then as long as I do that every single day, my long term is going to do really, really well. And especially when I started looking at my spreadsheet, you know, years and years and years ago, I did a spreadsheet and I started looking at all my trades. 20% of my trades that actually met my plan did really well. And the 80% of the trades that was based on think, hope, or fear, I think it's a good trade, I hope it's a good trade, I'm fearful of missing out. You know, and what those trades were the things that were actually causing me to go backwards overall. Makes sense? And that's where with my, you know, with my private clients, it's not about the strategy. My coaching program is not about teaching you the strategy. Like, I do teach you the setup, right? I do teach you that, but you know, my coaching program is mainly just to be there all the time on a daily basis to help you stay consistent at just trading that setup and being patient and always being there every single week and every single day to keep you on track and on staying track. Because I know over 6 month and a 12-month period, at the end of this year, we're all going to arrive at one place. I'm going to have a phenomenal year at Christmas this year. Where are you going to be? Because I guarantee you, you're probably going to take quintuple, maybe a lot more trades than me. As I said before, it's only been on the stock market, it's only been 8 trades in total. But you're going to take a lot more trades than me, but you're going to end up going backwards. You can pay a lot more money in brokerage, and you're going to be frustrated. Where if you slow down, and even if you had only a couple of dozen good trades throughout the entire year, you can do really well, and you can build on that. And then that's year 1, right? Then year 2, you can start to increase it, right? What I mean by increase, instead of taking $1,000 a trade, you can start to increase it to $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a trade, you know, with good risk management on your account. Once you've done that foundational work, and before you know it, you know, you're starting to kick butt from that there. Makes sense? So have an amazing weekend, guys. Please think about this. Please think about this, some of the things that I've said in this video, because I really do care about you, and I really, really, really want you to get ahead in the markets. And it's not about being right with the markets. It's not about getting it right. It's not about picking the turn. It's picking the top and picking the bottom and getting when you think it's a good idea or hope. It's not that the top people are not lucky. It's just that they do that one simple thing. I will follow this one simple setup or this one simple plan every single time. I will follow this one simple plan every single time. And as you can see, right, what does the main thing, what I'm looking for, what is a breakout bar? Look, breakout bar, get in. Big breakout bar here, get in. Breakout bar, get in. Breakout bar, get in. Big breakout bar, get in. Big breakout bar, get in. This one here, breakout bar, get in. Breakout bar here, get in, and so on and so forth. So now, yes, it's not just the breakout bar, right? Please don't think I'm trading there. I do have a whole setup before the breakout bar before I get into it. But what I'm trying to share with you, right, as you can see, right, it's the exact same thing. The type of bar I'm looking to get in on today is the exact same thing. Now, yes, again, I need a whole setup. I need a whole setup before the breakout bar. So don't just go out there and start to trade breakout bars because there's so many false breakouts and so on and so forth, right? So, all right, guys, have an amazing weekend.